Hi, Kelly here from Cochrane Toyota. We're located at 8 River Heights Drive, Cochrane, Alberta. And today I've got a 2020 Tacoma TRD Sport manual to show you. So a lot of cool things these 20s have upgraded. I'll run through a few of them and some of the stuff that I've actually liked that these new generation Tacomas have changed to. So first off, this is a Sport, so it is loaded right up. You're gonna have all the features in it, plus that manual transmission. Right from the get-go, you're gonna have a hitch and wiring. You get both receivers. You get the 4-pin and the 7-pin right there, plus a little storage cap for that piece right there. So nice and easy. The back, you have a lockable tailgate and your backup camera here, and then a nice easy down tailgate. It's a little cold, so it takes a little longer, but a nice polymer box. This isn't a drop-in. This is the way they come. So again, nice and solid. Don't have to worry about that cracking or anything in the winter. It is a really nice and solid box. These things have lasted for a while. You do have these caps. You basically twist this little guy right here and you can slide that back and forth. You can even remove those if you'd like. It does have indents on the both sides in the back there as well. And what that's for is you put a 2x6 across, and then you can fit a sheet of plywood in there if you want to have a little shelf system. You do get a power storage or a power outlet right there that you can control from the inside. Little storage pocket right there. Again, super slick. I'll show you what that polymer box looks like from the inside. So if you go underneath the tire, you've got that right there. So again, that is connected right to the frame. So really good for corrosion. A couple of things you'll notice with these Tacomas is the hard hit points. They're gonna have 3M on it. You can see that right there. Plus, if you look along the whole entire bottom and it goes all the way across, it's got that epoxy resin underneath the paint to really bolster up that how long it's gonna last. And then all the high hit points, it's got heavy plastic in there as well. So if you look at that, and then this side, you're gonna have the hard hit points covered in the heavy plastic, so you don't need to worry about it being chewed apart. And again, that 3M in those spots that you know are just gonna get chewed apart. So again, really nice setup on that guy. Plus these guys come with mud flaps, and really good set of mud flaps right from the factory, hard, the hard style molded right in there. But again, all comes factory with the Toyota. And of course that black looks pretty awesome. It's a good looking color. It's definitely my favorite. On the Sport, you do get that air dam up front. I know a lot of guys that want some clearance pull that air dam off, but again, that just tucks the air a little cleaner underneath. You do get the radar cruise control in this thing as well, so that symbol is your radar. It just keeps you tucked into the traffic right behind you. It will take you down to a 30K stop, so if they hammer on the brakes, it will take you down to that. Your your lane trace assist right there is looking for people silhouettes. So if someone jumps out in front of you, the car will go to a dead stop. And it's also looking for your high beams, so your automatic headlights. And it's also looking for the lines on the side of the road to keep you from wandering around. It's an audible sound inside that's gonna beep and let you know you're wandering. Lots of stuff that stuff does for you, but it turns into a really safe little vehicle for you. We'll jump into the backside here. With the Tacomas and the Sports, now you get full leather inside, which is nice, and you get that I like the texture in here, the square little bits, and again, really good solid leather all the way through. You'll notice you have your child seat anchors here and on that side, and then in the back, I don't know if you can quite see the back there, those little loops, those are your third harness, so you do get the triple harness on 2 of them, and then of course the seatbelt goes across. With this guy, if I reach underneath here and flip this up, you're gonna get a storage space underneath this guy. Pop it this way, underneath there, and then same thing with this guy. And then if I pull this forward, I can move this whole thing down. So if I move this down, it goes underneath right there, and then they'll give me a full storage space, and then another storage piece back here. So I can get a really nice flat surface right across, but with one hand, it's a little harder to do. So you pop that back up, pop that down, and get a nice space back there for whatever you need as well. Jumping into the driver's seat. One of the big things that the 2020 has now is this. For those of us who are a little taller, be able to drop that seat down is a big deal. And having power seats, so you got your lumbar, your back, and your bed, has really brought the Tacoma to the modern era. Nice thing about these guys, soft touch everywhere. If you look at this material, nice clean material throughout. You've got your power windows, power mirrors, power locks, and then your lock out button to keep the jerks in the back from getting fancy with the windows. Storage space there for water bottles. Definitely not Nalgene size, but enough for a large water bottle in there. And again, lots of cool features in this guy. That leather interior is really, really nice. I like that square pattern. And really comfortable seats, especially now with the power. You can really dial these in. And then this one does have your sunroof as well, being the sport upgrade. On this side, you're gonna have a couple cool features. The clutch start cancel button. This allows you to start the car without putting the clutch in. Really what it's meant to do is you can press this button and actually use it for rock crawling and those kinds of things. Turn your key over to get your car forward. So if you're sitting on a high embankment like this and you don't want to roll back when you press it, you can just turn the key over and it'll push you over certain things. So really cool feature that they've had in Tacomas for a long, long time. This is that power outlet in the back. I can turn that off. For all sorts of different power features. And then of course, automatic headlights. If I turn this little guy right here to automatic, you see that? Move it forward. Whoops, that was me. Move this forward, press this button, you'll hear the click. Now I never have to touch my headlights. Along with that camera that's right up top there, that will allow me to leave the headlights up to the system to control. Traction control, I can turn that off if I want to have a little bit more of a manual feel to the vehicle. And of course the box lights as well. I can turn those on or with the door, however you'd like. Jump into this guy and go through some more of the features. It's a really nice fit in these guys. Super comfortable, lots of room. And they've just changed a few things, like this guy used to be right there. They've changed a few things in these things to be really comfortable throughout. And again, these now sports with the leather, just really, really nice trucks. Sunroof in this guy. Again, overall, you feel pretty comfortable in this guy. Starting with the steering wheel, you've got this molded kind of sport steering wheel with the space in between all the way through, leather wrapped. You see this little notch that they've kind of cut out on the back side where I'm holding my fingers. You can kind of hold it, gives you a nice grip on there. But a couple cool functions to make this thing really stand out. This guy is going to be this trip information right there. Your cruise control set right there. Your radar cruise, I can set how far I want to sit in front of traffic. I'll show you what that looks like here so you can tell how far you need to be. And then your built-in rumble strips, so your lane departure. So this button will turn on or off, but allows you to have an audible sound if you're starting to wander out of the driving. If you're looking down or doing something, it will let you know. This side is your Bluetooth setup. So again, your phone and then voice command on this guy. My volume controls for my music, and then I can actually turn everything off right here or cycle through my modes. Again, really nice, easy setup, nice and clean to be able to use this system and that system without having to look too far off the road. So again, really nice. I'll turn this guy on. You can see the setup system here. Oh, turn that. So turn the music off right there, but you can see right off the bat when I turn the lane departure on, you can see those two lines on either side are going to set that up for me. If I go to cruise control, so I get it in gear, go to cruise control, set that up, I can actually adjust how far I want. So that's the furthest out. It's like 7 car lengths, about 5 car lengths, and about 2.5, 3. It's still a little further than I like to sit behind people, but it gives you a nice, comfortable feeling, a little less stress when you use that piece right there. If I start tripping through this guy, I've got messages that allows me to set up any information. So anything the car's trying to tell me, it'll pop up right there. This guy, it's going to be my pre-collision system, my lane departure settings, so I can go into this guy and really adjust the sensitivity of things, which is a nice option. Go into the settings and I can start scrolling through. I can save all the information to each driver depending on who's driving the car, and then I can really set this up. I can actually even change the color there. Instead of that blue little highlight, I can change that color and go through and really set it up to my personal settings. Go over to this guy, the digital speedometer is I think where you're going to spend most of your time. It gives you distance to empty, and then again you can change that to miles per hour, so you don't have to do the math in here. But again, a nice, easy, clear view of what you're doing for your kilometers. You'll notice in the top I have the outside temperature control, your lane departure, you can see that's on or off right there. And then your cruise control is on, you can see it right there, it turns it on or off. So again, radar is ready. If I want to turn the radar cruise control off, I turn it on and hold this back for 3 seconds, and hold that back for 3 seconds, and we'll just go to standard cruise control rather than having the radar cruise. So if you don't like the radar, you can always turn that off as well. So again, nice functions in there, allows you to really kind of customize this truck in there. You do have your compass there for you. Audio, so I click this button and you can actually see your presets, so you can scroll through your presets right there. Nice functions. And then back to this main screen. So again, I think this is going to be the one you spend most of your time on, but overall pretty slick. If I jump into this guy, sorry, cup holders in the back, large size. You can, not quite an LG in there, but get very close to. You have a USB port down there, 2 of them actually. So you have 2 USB ports that you can tuck the cords out right there, have them sit inside, or if you'd like, just down in that soft material down there. Couple things that Toyota does with their cup holders. I'll get rid of this so it's not right in our face. But if you notice, there's nothing in there that's going to trap dirt. It's all a solid piece with no little holes or anything. So you can really clean this out. And then that thoroughfare there, you can put big cups or mugs in there. Again, not quite an LG, but definitely big enough to fit a large cup holder. Of course, the manual transmission, I'll get that out of the way. And underneath here, you have your Qi wireless charger. So if your phone is capable for wireless charging, you just turn that guy on right there, throw your phone in this hard rubber, kind of definitely grippy, throw it underneath there, and it is big enough to fit the biggest of the phones under there. USB here, this is gonna hard wire to here. The ones in here are just for charging. This particular one, you can actually hardwire so you can listen to music that way. You also have your automatic rear window, so you can pop this in the back, and then your blind spot monitor. I'll turn this one on, and you can see what that looks like there. Let me see if I can get that. Turn that on. See that bright orange? It's like that on both sides. If I go to this side, same thing. If a car is in your blind spot and you go to move, you'll see that orange button go there. And if you hear this click, that means it's going to stay like that forever until I unclick that button. Where some of the other ones, like this one, oh, that one's the same thing. But some of the other buttons, like this guy, won't. Every time you turn the car off, it will actually turn back to stock. So you do have heated mirrors as well right there. Your 4-wheel drive system, just click over to 4-wheel drive. 4-wheel low, you just go into neutral, push this forward, it'll go to your 4-wheel low option. And super simple to get there. And even these sports, they are a very capable off-road vehicle. Just don't have some of the off-road features that the others do. Dual climate control, so I hit sync, and this thing will set up. Let me turn this back on. Right there, I can set the sync to there or adjust separately for the different drivers. Your heated seats are right there. You have the 3 settings on each of them. So again, really simple to use, straightforward. This is one of my favorite new features. They've really got this thing customized to make it super easy. The phone section, I've got this thing set to right now. This will split into 4 and have my favorite 4 contacts on there. So I just hit one button and go directly to them rather than having to worry about who's there. The other thing I like is no matter what button you press, whether it's this button or this button right here, if I press this, it will take me right away to the screen that I need to sync my phone. So it's already now waiting for me to go to my settings on my phone and hit Bluetooth, and that's all I need to do. So literally one button away, get that done. If I turn audio on, you've got audio right there. Navigation system, again, super easy to use. Something like this, if I go like this button.
Before you start, consider viewing.
That's the owner manual stuff. Find McDonald's.
Showing results for McDonald's.
I can talk my way through this or click the buttons, whatever I prefer.
To this point of interest, starting guidance for a new route.
So that's popped up there now. And a couple things that are nice about this is that if you're going into the city and you get lots of different routes that you can do, it's always going to make sure you're good to go, but you do have 3 route options. This is the exact same no matter which way we go to our McDonald's, because there is only one way. So I'll click the one there and hit OK.
Please proceed to the highlighted route, then the route guidance will start.
Couple of things I like is if I don't like that voice and it gets annoying, I can just turn it off right there and not have to hear it. I can zoom out, do what it needs to do right there. But if I see the golden arches and I'm done and I want to get rid of it out of my screen, I just hit this little button over here, hit yes, and it's gone. So I don't have to worry about being annoyed and trying to order some food while figuring that out. So really simple. Couple of things I do like in this guy. If I go to the menu and start adjusting some settings here, I can go to setup and really get in and set this thing up. So go home screen. How do I want this thing to look? I can change layout and adjust the way that screen looks. I can adjust what's on each of these. So instead of, I want my phone to be on the top, I'll click that. And maybe I want to have the clock on the bottom. I can click that and then go back and go to home screen, and you can see the difference there. So again, you can really customize that. Myself personally, I like this on this side, is where I like to have it. I go back to menu there, go into setup, and I can just go through and really customize this whole thing. First thing I'd do is turn that beep off, because that's annoying. And then I can change the colors of the screen. I can do all sorts of different things with this guy. So lots of cool little features, easy to use. A couple laps around this thing and you'd be surprised at how much more user-friendly these are. They are Android Auto and Apple CarPlay enabled as well, so I can hook those things up and not have to worry about any of those functions I just showed you and just use it off your phone. But overall, really clean setup, and again, a nice big screen there for you. Backup camera in there. It's a really nice one. You can basically see the tip to the tip on the bumpers, so lots of space there for you so you can see the whole world behind you. Nice option there. You do have a lockable storage device there. In the little orange bag, we have your locking wheel nut key right there. And then, of course, on your manual, and then your block heater cables are also in there for you. Lots of cool little functions. Again, leather seats all the way through. Up here, you're going to have your sunroof stuff, and then your SOS button. You can subscribe to Toyota Connect, which will give you a remote start and the whole entire works on this guy, or a service and a bunch of different things. If you just want to use that as a safety piece, you can do that as well. Pop that back up there. But again, really cool car, 2020 Tacoma. They've just touched these things up, and a pretty awesome vehicle. So if you want to come take a peek at it, come check us out at Cochrane Toyota Tacoma Town.